Hey everyone, come on in. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage on Sunday, November 24th, 2024. Hope everybody's having a great weekend out there so far. We have an Arctic blast, a huge Arctic blast, and we also have snow chances in the forecast we're going to be going through in this video. So make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It's very important so you are notified when we do have these videos in the future so you can get the latest weather information right at your fingertips. Also, like the video. It's very important to like the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps us spread this information out to more and more people. And of course, leave any comments, questions, concerns below. We'll get to those after the video. Let's look at the temperature anomalies here for today, this Sunday on November 24th, 2024. Notice we have unseasonably warm temperatures from the southern plains all the way up into the Midwest, and then below normal temperatures favored for southwestern Canada and some of that diving southeast into the Black Hills region of the Dakotas. So we're keeping an eye on that as we go through the Sunday. This afternoon, here are your high temperatures, and you can see where that cold air is with teens and 20s for highs up across the northern tier of the United States, more as across Montana into North Dakota, parts of Wyoming, and northern South Dakota, and even some of that sneaking over into northwest Minnesota. South of there, we have unseasonably mild conditions, enjoying it here from the Chicagoland area at 50 degrees. This afternoon on the lakefront, 65 in St. Louis, 73 in Tulsa, and 81, into the low 80s this afternoon in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And as we go into tonight, a lot more of that colder air from Canada going to be moving further south and east into the United States. There's the freezing line from the Twin Cities all the way down here toward Omaha and into Dodge City, Kansas, and approaching the Amarillo area. And behind that, we have single digit and teens for lows. As we go into tonight, wind chill values in some of these areas could go below zero, even with the slightest of wind. Now let's talk about precipitation prospects. This afternoon, we have some isolated to scattered snow showers across the northwest United States. Nothing to certainly write home about. This is going to be very light precipitation here, maybe some flurries also across the northeast this afternoon. As we go into this evening and more so overnight tonight, we're going to see a little bit of some lighter, maybe some moderate snow trying to reach into Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and the western UP of Michigan. This could drop maybe an inch or two of snowfall, especially on those grassy surfaces, and more drizzle further to the south across the land of Lincoln there and into the Hawkeye state of Iowa. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. Again, precipitation with this will be light. We're not going to be seeing any overwhelmingly significant precipitation over the next 24 hours anywhere across the United States, so that is certainly some good news. And again, those snowfall amounts will be anywhere from a trace up to 2 inches from northern Wisconsin, the western UP of Michigan, back through the northern part of Minnesota, parts of the Dakotas, and then back toward the Rockies. The heavier snows will be setting up for the Cascades and the Sierras, and even so, just a few inches as we go through the next 24 hours. So let's look here at the ice and snow cover across the northern hemisphere, because we track this all the way back even into Russia. We have a lot of snowpack here on the ground, and that is very key for our winter here in North America and the United States, because you can see even more snowpack here building across Alaska, across the Northwest Territories, Yukon, in towards British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, you guys name it. We have a lot of snow here in Canada, and that colder air is going to be diving southeast over that snowpack and into the United States, the central and the eastern United States, going through the rest of this month and really into early December. And we also look at the teleconnections for this as well. The AO is your Arctic oscillation. Notice that dips negative here, basically to -2 as we go in towards Thanksgiving week here, and really continuing into early December with that negative AO teleconnection. And then you look here at the NAO, your North Atlantic oscillation, and notice that dips negative all the way down to about -2.5 at its lowest, and that is for Thanksgiving week, and then continues through portions of early December before turning more positive or neutral even after that. So what that's going to do is that's going to bring a huge Arctic blast of cold air from Alaska and over that snowpack in western and central Canada down southeast into the central and the eastern U.S. as we go through Thanksgiving week, and it's really going to start off here tomorrow. So we're going to start to see that colder air filtering in, maybe all the way south to the Red River Valley, across Oklahoma, North Texas, Monday afternoon, below normal temperatures. That'll continue across the middle and northern part of the country by midweek on Wednesday, November 27th, before Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving travel, yeah, you're going to need your jackets out there. It's going to be cold, a lot of well below normal temperatures, and even look it up into Canada, folks. These purples and pinks, that is 50 degrees below the norm for this time of year. And that is after Thanksgiving. So that is definitely something to watch. And one of the colder mornings that we will be dealing with will actually be Black Friday. It will be Black Friday. And Friday morning, we could be seeing temperatures that will be maybe even below zero up here into North Dakota and across a lot of southern Canada. And that freezing line, 32-degree line, goes all the way south to the Red River Valley and the Southern Plains, down here toward Nashville, and even over here toward Roanoke into Virginia as well. So keeping an eye on that for Friday morning. And those wind chills, yes, they will most certainly be below normal and are definitely going to be minus 20 degrees perhaps in a couple areas up into North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota Friday morning. Friday afternoon, you can see those temperatures really start to rebound a little bit, but we're still seeing the temperatures in the teens and 20s up there to the north. Wind chills on either side is zero. So it's going to be a chilly day on Black Friday. If you're going shopping, make sure to pack a jacket with you because it's definitely going to be a cold one. And looking here at the jet stream and looking at where we could see storms next week, the jet stream's further to the south. So that means a lot of the low pressure systems that develop will start across portions of the southern U.S., track east and move up the east coast or just off of the northeast coast. And that could actually favor what we call a nor'easter as we go into later next week. So looking here on Monday, this is starting off the work week. Heavier snows across the Sierras, heavier rains coming into coastal central California, parts of northwest California. The Cascades getting a lot of snowfall there. A weak system across the Great Lakes could bring a mix of rain and or snow showers on Monday. Really kind of a nuisance. That system really starts to wind up on Tuesday. Maybe bringing some snow to places like Montreal there into Quebec or even Ontario as we go through Tuesday. Rainfall mostly for the Northeast instead of maybe a northwestern Maine could get a mix of rain and snow. Heavier snow system moving into the Rockies, Sierras on Tuesday. That's going to be our system worth watching late this week as that will develop a 1,003 millibar low across eastern Oklahoma on Wednesday. That'll slip over here toward the Poconos and towards 994 millibars on Thanksgiving Day. Snow, again, the track of the system, the intensity of the system and the moisture it has to work with is key in how much rain or snow amounts that we do see across the Northeast and where that rain snow line sets up. Right now, it does perhaps look like it'll be more of an interior Northeast and interior New England event for heavy snow, and then that'll move more into eastern Canada, whereas areas along and east of I-95, closer to the coast, will probably be more rain than snow with this system the way it looks now. So looking here at the precipitation amounts through Thanksgiving week, heavier moisture moving into California, that'll move over east into Nevada, into Utah and Colorado. It'll start to fizzle out in the middle of the country and then pick back up again as it works with a lot of that Gulf of Mexico moisture and moves up toward the Northeast as a nor'easter potentially later next week. And let's look at the three main operational models. Still lots of disagreement here, so it's not set in stone by any means. Don't necessarily look at the snow amounts, but the path or track of this snow that we could see. So the European snowfall, you can see a map is actually looking pretty bullish with the amounts, and obviously again, we don't want to look at the amounts, but the placement of this here, Maine back there toward western Pennsylvania, you can see that's where that snow track could set up. The GFS model really more further to the north into southeastern Canada, and the GEM, the Canadian model, kind of in between, you know, the United States and Canada. So a lot of disagreement on the track of the system. Obviously will have a lot to do with how much snow falls and where it falls. We'll keep an eye on that as we go closer towards the end of the week, and we will have updates for you right here on this channel. Now, finally, moving into early December, the first week of the month, we're going to see behind that system, whatever comes of it, we're going to see a lot of cold air continuing across the eastern U.S., big ridge builds out west. And again, this will eventually become a progressive pattern. So obviously, if you're a winter snow lover for Christmas, this ridge over here in the west is not your friend, especially once we get into the middle of December. But looking at that, before we get to that point, first week of December, folks, is going to be very cold across the east. We're talking a lot of the eastern states here and even the central states of the United States getting 20, 30 degrees below the norm for this time of year. Ridge builds out west, maybe melts some snow across western Canada here into British Columbia, Yukon, the Northwest Territories, Alberta, even Alaska seeing some snow melt potentially into the first week of December with that ridge really building across the west there. But on the northeastern quadrant of that ridge, kind of like what we see in the summer when we get those derecho patterns, we have to watch out for those clipper systems that dive in southeast from Canada across the Great Lakes. Could also set up a lake effect snow event across parts of the lakes as well. And this could be true, especially as we go into the first week of December. Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, Huron, you name it. We're going to see a lot of snow potentially on the lakes there as we go into the first week of December. So Watertown, New York, definitely watching it for you. Buffalo, New York, watching it for you. And then over here into places like Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, and up into the UP of Michigan, Marquette, for example, we're watching you for the potential of some significant lake effect snow as we go towards the first week in December. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for the latest weather information. Of course, we'll have it right here for you. So again, turn on post notification bell and you will be notified of the latest video here on this channel. Also, very important, can't stress this enough, like the video down below, give it a thumbs up. And also leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those after the video, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their weekend out there.